everyone, and welcome to high school football here on Tanchpo Television. Ron Gotro, along with the vacationing David Cottrell, the Crawfish. Good to have you back, sir.
I was on probation.
You was on probation. And tell you what, David, you couldn't have come back for a better contest. Ponchatoula High School versus Independence. Over the last 2 years, the last two times these teams have played, the game's been decided by a total of 6 points. 1993, 1915 the score. 1994 last year, 18-16 was the score, with the greatest finish in high school football we've ever done.
Yeah, sure, it certainly was. It was an excellent game last year, with Ponchatoula coming on top with a pass from Martinez Lewis to Charlie Landry in the waning seconds of the ball game, with Ponchatoula just going up. We got a good matchup tonight with Charlie Landry and Brister.
Yes, indeed. You got probably one of the best running backs in the state of Louisiana, and Darren Brister. Darren Brister, we don't have his rankings with us. We'll give them to you during the ball game. Then, of course, Martinez Lewis with his great passing arm. These are the keys for victory for these two teams tonight. Darren Brister has to rush over 200 yards. Charlie Landry has to go over 120 yards, and Martinez Lewis has to hit those open receivers.
Well, Darren Brister's had 13, I believe, over 200-yard games this year, and Charlie Landry just about can do it all. You said you didn't know the numbers, but Darren Brister has 3,000 yards, and he needs 300 more yards to bypass Joe Harris, which was a fine running back here a few years back.
Barring injuries, you can bet that Darren Brister will be holding the rushing record here at Independence. Hey, folks, this game tonight has turned into a little bit of a rivalry. Like we said, last year, Ponchatoula took the game away from Independence with less than a minute left to play. Independence here looking for some revenge tonight. Ponchatoula here looking for some respect in Tanchpo Parish. They want to be rated with the A-meets, with the Independence. They want to start dominating in Tanchpo Parish. That's what you're in for tonight. Buckle up your chin strap. You fix to see some great football. Welcome once again to the campus of Independence High School. Ron Gotro along with Independence Principal Mitch Williams. Mitch, a lot of improvements made here on the Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, and we are very proud of that. If you look behind us, you'll see the old bleachers have a new look now. We redid those this summer, painted them, touched them up with a little purple to add to it. And if you look back at the Tiger Den, it has a new roof on it. The helmets on the front, Mr. Rodney Lee came on the weekend because he couldn't do all of that during school board time. But he came on the weekend and painted that gold in there for us just to give us that special touch and make it look just like we want it to for our opening game. And if you look around the field, it's simply great. A lot of work was done today and the painting and getting it ready for this very grand opening game here at home tonight against Ponchatoula. Both teams undefeated. I'm looking for a good, spirited game.
Mitch, this is what makes being a principal and being a teacher and being a student fun, high school football.
Oh, it is. And look at the fans that are into it, the cheerleaders, the dance team behind me, the band, the flag corps, just everybody has put out a great effort. The boosters have worked overtime getting ready for the game, and it is just great to see these students involved in all of this. It really adds to the academic part of the game because it gives those students something beyond the books to work for. And we got some good ones working on it.
All right. Mitch Williams, the principal of Independence High School. We're going to be back with the kickoff in just a moment. Well, buckle it up, folks. Here we go. Ponchatoula Independence from Tiger Stadium in Independence, Louisiana. Teeing it up for the Tigers is number 24, Darren Brister. Back deep to receive for the Green Wave is Ramon Richardson, and also backing him up will be Joey Cox Crawfish. Both of these teams 2-0. Ponchatoula beating Hammond, of course, and a tough St. Paul's team. Independence beating LaRonja, and I believe Central. So
that's correct. Both of them are 2-0 coming into this ball game right now. Looks like a pretty good crowd. Ponchatoula and Independence, doesn't matter where they go, they always bring a pretty good sized crowd. Whoever's, sometimes they outnumber the other team.
Mr. Brister gets a high kick coming down and hits about the 15-yard line. It's picked up by Joey Cox, and he stumbles and falls right before the 20. So the Green Wave will have it. First down, 10 yards to go. They'll be operating from about the 18-yard line. Ponchatoula will come out with Martinez Lewis at the quarterback, the senior, the field general for the Green Wave. In the backfield, number 23, the all-around player for the Green Waves, Charlie Landry. And I'll wait and get the other numbers on the starting lineup. They'll start number 87. That's going to be, I believe that's Arthur Thompson. I'm not sure. I think they might have the numbers wrong on that. Lewis puts him in the wing. Ramon Richardson. Charlie Landry at the fullback position. Puts a man in motion to the high side. On the counter play, the wingback counter. It goes for about 2 yards and stopped on the play by number 56 for the Independence Tigers. That's Gerald Whittington. So Ponchatoula opens up with the wingback counter. They're going to pick up about 2 yards. That's going to bring up second down. We'll call it about 7 yards to go. Crawfish, the key to this contest, of course, is stop Darren Brister, but it's also for Independence to win this contest. They've got to stop Martinez Lewis, his passing arm, and a good running back in Charlie Landry.
That's correct. All three of them are high-profile backs, and they're going to have to shut down one of them to win this ball game.
Charlie Landry bulls his way ahead into first down territory, running over Tigers. He picks up the first down. That'll bring up first down, 10 yards to go. The ball resting on about the 30-yard line. And Charlie Landry showing some of the old style. You know, they kind of held him in check in the first game against Hammond. He opened up a little bit last week. But tonight, for Ponchatoula, to beat this good Independence team, he's going to have a whale of a game, as is everyone else.
Well, he's their money back. They go to him anytime they need him, just like they did last year when they won the game on the last play of the game.
Wydell is split to the near side. Back in motion. Once again to Charlie Landry up the middle. He bulls his way ahead for about 5 yards. So going with Charlie Landry up the middle to test that defense of Independence. On that stop will be number 24. That's going to be, for Independence on the stop was Brandon Dufresne. Crawfish will set the lineups for you as soon as we have them. Kevin Brown comes to the near side. Independence operating with a 4-man line. Martinez Lewis puts the man in motion. Once again to Charlie Landry. Charlie Landry once again bulls ahead for just about first down yardage. So the key to this is going to be stop Charlie Landry.
That's right. Charlie Landry doesn't look like he's that fast. He doesn't look like he's has a lot of moves. He just puts his head down, and he's hard to tackle, and he's just a bull. You know, talking to Coach Joe Levine before the game with Independence, he said that they thought they had a good chance. They just can't give up any quick plays or any big plays.
Ponchatoula ball operating from about the 41-yard line. Martinez Lewis at the quarterback spot. Once again, fakes it to Landry up the middle on the option play, and Independence gets tough. And they shut Martinez Lewis down for a big loss. Led out there by number 88. That's going to be Mike Governale and also Brad Pedescalza.
They read that veer pretty good. Whenever you start running Charlie Landry up the middle and he's starting to get yards, that's going to open things up. But didn't fool anybody on the Independence defense that time. Actually got him for about a 2-yard loss. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 from about the 38-yard line.
Kevin Brown split to the near side. Martinez Lewis after the loss. Under center. On the wingback counters, Ramon Richardson looking for some running room. He's going to pick up about 9, but that'll leave him still with third down and about 5 yards to go. So on the wingback counter, Ramon Richardson, one of the faster men on the team. I tell you what, one thing about this Independence defense, Crawfish, they are pursuing.
They are, and they have Ponchatoula in a position they want right now. Third and about 6-7 yards. Kind of in a no-man's zone there. It's hard. That 7 yards is hard to get. You're in between plays, really.
Buster Wydell comes out. He comes to the near side. Backs in the wing back. Landry at the fullback. Martinez Lewis at quarterback. Independence shifts up another man on the line. Martinez Lewis on the rollout. Looking for Wydell. He's got him in the open, but overthrows him. So that'll bring up 4th down. I tell you what, Buster Wydell was covered like just a great coverage by LeBlon Tofield out there. Tofield right with Wydell. I think Martinez kind of let that one fly a little bit. He didn't want that interception.
Well, Walter Kinchin was coming out the backfield, and he tried to get around in and slip down. He might have been the guy they were going to. Ponchatoula likes to flood a zone and have a back come out and split the seam, and I think that's what they were going to do there. Wydell was his only choice to throw it to.
In to do the punt is number 88. That's going to be Alan Strohmeyer back deep to receive. One of the best backs in Louisiana. His name is Darren Brister. Strohmeyer, they got the punt block. Independence with the big rush will get field position. It's picked up there by number 6 for the Tigers. That's going to be Jeremy Brown. So Independence with a big break and a gigantic rush get in and get their hand on the football, on the punter Strohmeyer. They'll take it over in Ponchatoula territory.
Boy, they just pinned their ears back and came on that play. The Independence Tigers did. Strohmeyer just took a little bit too long to get into his motion. Ball was snapped a little bit low, but he should have still got it off. They had 3 or 4 guys could actually block that punt.
Coach Baglio and his staff doing their job, looking at the film. Brister comes in a wide out on the low side, on the high side. Another receiver and a lone setback. Brister in motion to Brister on the counters. Met there initially by Otis Chester. Otis Chester drags him down after about a 1-yard loss. So they started Brister out as a wide receiver to the near side, put him in motion before the snap, but we do have a flag on the play. Portion of tonight's game brought to you by the Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency of Ponchatoula. It's just a phone call away 24 hours a day. Jerry Morgan Insurance can help you to have that peace of mind that comes from knowing you're covered with insurance from strong, reliable companies. That's Jerry Morgan Insurance, 386-8533.
You know, I was wondering when I saw Brister go in motion, he was running almost full speed. He gets past the first couple of guys, he's going to be going. But Ponchatoula kind of read that. Jim Meads was in on a tackle. It's a pretty good hitting we're seeing out there right now.
Terrence McGowan at quarterback for the Tigers. He's got Darren Brister in the backfield. Number 81 is Landell Aller. He's a wide receiver. And also number 10, that's going to be Steve Bayham. Fullback is going to be number 44, I believe, or 41, Billy Lamonte. McGowan blocked at the line of scrimmage by Otis Chester. So McGowan intended for the receiver coming out of the backfield. Otis Chester got his hands up and put the ball back in the Independence backfield.
Well, McGowan almost telegraphed that pass there, and the defender had his chance to get his hands up there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9, and Independence has the ball at Ponchatoula 44-yard line.
Up to the high side is Emery Robertson. Down to the low side, number 81 is Lendell Aller. McGowan under center, backs in the I formation. On the draw play to Darren Brister. Darren Brister looking for some running room. He's got some to the outside. He breaks it around the corner. It's a foot race toward the end zone, and he's finally pushed down on about the 2-yard line by number 88. That is Alan Strohmeyer. So Darren Brister showing you what made him what he is. He gets to the outside crawfish, and with that great speed, he's just almost impossible to catch.
You know, Darren Brister got about 8 yards on his own there. The rest of it, you have to give credit to number 81, Landon Aller. Landon Aller made the block on the outside that got Darren Brister up the sideline. Brister would have had enough yards for the first down, but Aller really was the one that sprung him all the way down to about we had Ron about the 5-yard line?
Yeah, about the 5-yard line. First down, goal to go for the Independence Tigers. Backs in the eye. McGowan to Brister. Brister working his way to the outside, breaks one tackle, can't get away from the other, and he's pulled down after a gain about 1 yard. See, if they can keep Darren Brister contained inside, they can stop him, it looks like, but once he gets a step outside crawfish, he's just phenomenal.
Ponchatoula's doing a good job of keeping him from getting past the line. Once he gets past the line, then it's him against the defensive backs. And well, he's coming full speed, and the defensive backs are sitting there, so he really has the advantage there. So he's second down from the 4-yard line.
4-yard line, second down for the Tigers. Backs in the full house backfield. McGowan under center. To Brister. Brister up the gut. Looks like he's going to be stopped there by number 79 for the Green Wave. Don't have a number in the roster for 79. We'll have to double check these numbers for you.
Dave Harper?
Dave Harper's 49. I thought I saw 79. There it is. Nope, no 79.
Yeah, that's Dave Harper.
Dave Harper, okay. That's going to bring up 3rd down, goal to go for the Independence Tigers. Lamonte and Garofola in the backfield along with McGowan and Brister. I don't know, they used the counter play, and I don't think they got it, so that's going to bring up 4th down, goal to go. Will they opt for the field goal, or do you go with the money man Brister for the touchdown?
Don't ask me, ask Coach Baggs.
Ask Coach Baggs. He'll call that play, won't he? 4th down, goal to go. McGowan still in the contest. Brister in the contest. Crawfish, they're going to set the precedence here early. They're going for it on 4th and goal. 4:49 left to go in the first quarter. A quick first quarter here at Independence Stadium. I'm Ron Gotro along with David Cottrell. 4th down, goal to go. Independence tightens up on the line, stacks everybody in. McGowan rolls out, hands to Brister. Brister looking for some running room. He does not get into the end zone. Ponchatoula will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. And Mr. Brister drugged down by number 82, Big Jim Meads. And Brister falls right before the goal line. So big break for Ponchatoula. They hold with 1st down, goal to go on the 5-yard lines. That's got to give your defense confidence.
It sure does. I think what Coach Baglio is thinking there is that his defense did a good job last time of holding Ponchatoula maybe 15, 20 yards. He gets them down here. They get 15, 20 yards. They kick him from the 20. He gets the ball at midfield again.
He gets good field position. So Martinez Lewis comes out operating from his, well, let's call it 1-yard line. So Martinez Lewis brings him out with Ramon Richardson along with number 21 in the backfield. That's going to be Donnell Rogers and Charlie Landry. Lewis to Landry. Landry looking for some running room. He's going to squirt ahead for about 3 or 4. Give him a little breathing room and a flag on the play. Did you see it?
I didn't see what happened. I saw the flag after. Flag against Ponchatoula is going to back them up. They can't back them up too much further.
Yeah, well, they started out at the 1. What, they're going to go back to the
railroad tracks?
Railroad tracks, yeah. So that'll bring up bring 1st down again on the 1-yard line for the Green Wave of Ponchatoula.
The only thing I can see Ponchatoula doing now is handing the ball straight ahead to Charlie Landry, because they do too much play action in the backfield, and you don't want to get a safety at this point.
Charlie played with a little bit of fumble trouble in the Hammond game, but you can rest assured he'll do what he can to hang on to this football with the ball resting the nose of it on the goal line. Martinez Lewis looks over the defense. The 5-man line of Independence to Landry. Landry up the middle, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be about it. So that'll bring up 2nd down, Crawfish, with Ponchatoula pinned deep in the hole with 1 block punt against them already.
I think Landry got on the plus side of the goal line. That ball's going to be almost into the end zone.
Ponchatoula backed up deep after Independence goes for it on 4th down and 1 and fails to convert. Ponchatoula has the football, and it's resting on their own goal line with 2nd down, 11 yards to go. 3:35 left to go in the first quarter. Lewis looks over the defense. On the wingback counter to Ramon Richardson, looking for some running room, and he's not going to get but 1. So led out there by number 40 for the Tigers, Chris Garafola. They shut Ramon Richardson down on a wingback counter. He doesn't get but 1. That doesn't help much.
Well, we thought this was going to be an explosive game with the Brister and Landry and Martinez Lewis, but it's looking like a defensive battle right now.
Well, if you look at the history of these games, I think one of them was 1915, the other 1816 in the last 2 years. So they haven't given up that many points. A total of 6 points have decided these contests. Independence winning 1 in 93 and Ponchatoula winning in 94. And that was in the last 30 seconds of the ball game. 3rd down, let's call it 8 yards to go for the Green Wave, backed up deep, deep, deep in their territory.
Ponchatoula needs some punting room right now.
And the referees signal they want the clock to run. Martinez Lewis looking over with 2 receivers, 1 high, 1 low. 2-step drop, looking for a receiver on the sideline pattern is Kevin Brown, right in his hands, and he brings it out to the 40-yard line. So Kevin Brown on the streak pattern had his defender beat. Martinez Lewis lays a perfect pass, a perfect shot to Kevin Brown, and that gets him out of a hole, gives him a big break.
Well, Kevin Brown coming in at 6'2", and the defender's 5'10". He just kind of blew by, and the ball was laid out perfectly. Kevin Brown caught the ball right at about the 30-yard line, gained about 6-7 more yards, and Ponchatoula is going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So Martinez with a big strike to Kevin Brown, moves him out to the 40-yard line. Back in motion is coming to this side on the option of Landry. Martinez decides to keep, gets a good block from Ramon Richardson, gets the corner turn, and it gets down to about the 47-yard line. So Ponchatoula in Independence territory for the first time tonight with 2:39 left to play in the third quarter.
Well, running the veer, everybody's supposed to take their man. Richard Levatino was actually on Charlie Landry. There was no way for Martinez Lewis to pitch, so he had to cut up and picked up enough yardage for a first down, and they're into the Tiger territory right now.
In Tiger territory are the Green Wave from Ponchatoula. They operating from the near hash mark. They're headed to the east. This stadium runs east to west. Ponchatoula headed east. Backs in the wing. Landry at the fullback. Kevin Brown, the only receiver. Up the gut to Landry. Looking for running room. Landry burns and turns, and he's going to smoke it into the end zone, untouched by the defense of the Independence Tigers. Crawfish, good line blocking on the part of the Green Wave.
It really was, and it looked like they had some play action also, because it looked like a couple of defensive backs were heading in opposite directions, and Charlie Landry just blew right by him. That's one thing Coach Levine was saying before the game. He didn't want to give up big plays. He didn't want to give up big plays. And that's really a downer whenever you have the Ponchatoula Green Wave backed up at their goal line for 3 solid plays, and then 2 big plays kill you.
Helsley in for the extra point, and he misses it. So with 2:08 left to go in the first quarter, Ponchatoula on top by a score of 6-0 on a 47-yard run by Charlie Landry. Parents who want tender loving care for their children in daycare centers that is located in a safe and healthy environment should talk with Marcia Mandel of TLC Daycare on Gallardo Lane in Independence. TLC is a state licensed agency and has a staff of professionals trained by the state, and they're CPR certified. Give them a call today at 878-9376. Also, tonight's contest brought to you by State Representative Dennis Hebert, representative for the people in District 73, a great place to live. That's Dennis Hebert. And in this part of the country, when you think of barbecue, you automatically think of Hi-Ho Barbecue. That's a great Hi-Ho Barbecue located in Ponchatoula. Just come in to 460 West Pine Street in Ponchatoula and satisfy that craving for a Hi-Ho Barbecue. Helsley never misses. He misses this extra point. He tees it up back deep to receive. For Independence will be Darren Brister. Also, number 25, Arceel Jackson, and number 20, that's going to be Donnie Williams. So Donnie Williams, Brister, and 2 Williams in the backfield, waiting from the kick from number 26 from Ponchatoula. That's Chad Milton. Milton gets like a low line drive, fielded on about the 25 there by number 80 for the Tigers, looking for some running room. He picks it up. A good return about to the 40-yard line with the ball is Quentin Weatherford. So Quentin Weatherford fields the short kick, and he brings it out, and Independence operates from some pretty good territory.
Yeah, good field position for Coach Baggs and Independence Tigers, starting at about the 42-yard line. I think you're going to see a little bit different Independence offense. I think they're a little mad that they didn't score down there. It really should be 7-7 and or 6-6, whatever. But now it's 6-0, and I think they have something to prove right now.
Darren Brister in the backfield at the tailback, along with Billy Lamonti at the fullback. 1 wide receiver to the near side, 1 to the high side. McGowan at quarterback. McGowan to Darren Brister. Darren Brister weaving his way through the line. He's going to pick up about 2 or 3. He was grabbed there by number 82, Big Jim Meade. So Darren Brister held to about 2 yards.
Jim Meade is going to be a tired guy trying to tackle Darren Brister right there at the line, because Brister hits the hole so quick. So he has to play off his block real quick. But right now they're doing a good job of keeping Darren Brister from getting beyond the line.
1 receiver goes to the high side. That's Steve Baham. 1 to the near side. I believe that's number 81, Lundell Aller. McGowan under center to Brister. Brister looking for some running room to the outside, trying to get the corner turn, and he's met out there by number 3 and slowed down by Kevin Brown, and then met by number 89, Ernie Manella for the Green Wave, and he stopped after a pickup about 2. You know, they might be stopping him now, but you've got to watch close, because he can break on you in a heartbeat.
Well, if you notice that time, there was 3 or 4 or 5 guys that actually had a hand on him. Ponchatoula did a good job of filling in the hole and making Brister run wide and let the defensive backs come in and fill in and pick up. You just got to let the pursuit catch up with him.
Here we go, folks. 3rd down, 7 yards to go for the Tigers of Independence. They trail in this contest by a score of 6-0. McGowan under center. 3-step, 4-step drop, looking for a receiver on the inside on the crossing pattern is number 5, and he makes a good move on the inside, looking for more running room, and he just angles all the way down breaks tackles, and heads into the end zone is Emory Robinson from the Independence Tigers. And that was a touchdown by Mr. Robinson. A fine piece of running by that young man.
And it was also fine blocking. The way that the play was set up, he came into motion. It looked like people were coming out the backfield. All the defensive backs came to catch the backs. He was in motion, cutting over the middle, and he just outran everybody. Made a couple of good moves, broke a couple tackles, and that's what we came to see.
That's right, Emory Robinson. He's a 12th grade wide receiver, 6 foot, 175 pounds, or 5'11", 160 pounds. So in to attempt the extra point for the Tigers will be number 80. That's Quentin Weatherford. Weatherford puts it up, and he misses it also. So with 8 seconds left to go in the third quarter, folks, we have a tie here and a great ball game in Independence. Tonight's contest being brought to you also by Ragusa Building Supply Company, located on Highway 51 in Independence, Louisiana, at 404 West Railroad Avenue. It has all the building supplies you can possibly need to build, remodel, or renovate. Ragusa carries lumber of all types and building materials, as well as hardware items and supplies for all types of plumbing and electrical work. All at competitive prices. Call Ragusa's True Value Hardware, 878-6254. Also, tonight's contest being brought to you by Mr. W.E. Blackwell. He's a candidate for state representative in District 63. That's W.E. Blackwell, a man who can and will make a difference. So vote for number 80 on your ballot, W.E. Blackwell, for state representative, District 73. Crawfish, a barn burner tonight, buddy.
Yeah, right when we were saying it was going to be a defensive struggle, 2 big plays, and I'm anticipating a little more of that because Darren Brister hadn't really gotten into the game except for that one run.
And you're not going to keep him in check all night.
Oh, no, not at all. There's no way they can do it. He'll just wear everybody out. Everybody will just get tired of tackling him or tired of trying to catch up with all his jukes.
Back deep to receive for the Green Wave will be Walter Kinchin and Ramon Richardson. In to do the kicking is number 90. For the Tigers, that's Phillip Jones. It's coming over to Ramon Richardson at about the 15-yard line. He's looking for some blocking to the outside, picks up a couple, looking to turn the corner, makes a good move to the inside, breaks it away, and carries it all the way to the 36-yard line. So 2 good plays by the special teams. And we have a player down for Independence on the field. He's down on about the 26-yard line. So Ramon Richardson, with good blocking out in front of him and a smart move, puts Ponchatoula in fairly decent field position. I'm Ron Gautreaux, along with David, the Crawfish Man Cottrell, Speck McClendon on the camera for us here tonight at Tiger Stadium in Independence, Louisiana. Crawfish, I tell you what, we've talked about this before. Charlie Landry having a big night so far, and we talked this before the contest started. They need big games from Martinez Lewis. They need a big game from Darren Brister. They need a big game from Terrence McGowan. And right now, that's what they're getting.
Well, they certainly are. And Ponchatoula has the ball in pretty good field position again. You know, we saw the play last year, and we watched Ponchatoula quite a bit last year, where Charlie Landry comes out of the backfield, play action, and he kind of splits the seam, and most of the time he's wide open. And that's the go-to play whenever Ponchatoula gets in a jam. That's the play that you're going to see tonight. It's going to end the first quarter. Score Ponchatoula 6 and the Independence Tigers 6.
Great contest so far tonight. The fans definitely getting their money worth. Bringing you tonight's contest on Tangipahoa Television. The Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency of Ponchatoula is just a phone call away, 24 hours a day. Jerry Morgan Insurance can help you have that peace of mind that comes from knowing you're covered with insurance from a strong, reliable company when you need it. Whether it's automobile, homeowners, mobile homes, life, accident, health, or Medicare supplements. Insurance you need, this agency can help. Call Jerry Morgan Insurance, 386-8533. Here we go. Ponchatoula operating from the 35-yard line. They're headed to the west in the backfield. Walter Kinchin, also Rogers with Charlie Landry. One receiver to the high side. That's Buster Waddell. Landry off to the right side looking for some running room and is met there by number 40. That's Chris Garofola. Chris Garofola with a good heads-up tackle on Charlie Landry. Landry will pick up about 2 yards.
That was a perfect tackle by Garofola because if not, Landry would have been on the outside, and you hate seeing Landry up against a defensive back.
Most definitely. Second down. Let's call it 7 yards to go for the first down for the Green Wave from Ponchatoula. They send Rogers at a wing to the near side. Kevin Brown split to the high side. Independence going with the 5-man line. Landry once again off the tackle. He's going to grind ahead for about 2 more. So Ponchatoula on the ground right now, going strictly with Landry, mixing in Ramon Richardson a little bit on the wing-back counter.
Yeah, they certainly are. And Independence is in pretty good shape right now, bringing up 3rd down and a little less than 5 yards. Ball's going to be spotted right about the 41-yard line. 10 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half.
The score is tied 6-6. Martinez Lewis looks over the defensive backs. Takes a snap, fakes it to Kinchin. Looking for a receiver. Number 87, big number 87 out there for Ponchatoula, and he's going to amble it down to about the 10-yard line. So I don't have 87 in my... I don't have him. I guess it's Artie Thompson. I would have to guess.
Charlie Landry was wide open on the opposite side. Both of them were wide open. I don't see how both of them got so deep.
And Martinez Lewis gets the ball to him, and Ponchatoula once again with good field position. They're on the 11-yard line with 10:20 left to go in the first half.
Richard Levatino made a touchdown-saving tackle there to bring down Morse at about the 11, 12-yard line. Be 1st and 10.
First down, 10 yards to go for the first down. Martinez Lewis sets his backs. He puts Kinchin in motion to the high side. 2-step drop on the pitch to Landry. Ball on the ground. This could be a break for the Tigers, and it is. The Independence Tigers. Charlie Landry was not ready for that football. The ball hit him. His hands weren't even out.
Yeah, it looked like it hit him in the face mask. Some miscommunication. Actually, they should have been a little bit further for the pitch. I think Martinez Lewis could have run the ball, but he wants to get the ball into Charlie Landry's hands when you get on the 10-yard line.
Independence jumps on the loose football, so they stop him at the 11-yard line with the turnover. Here we go. Independence will take it over on the 15-yard line.
Terrence McGowan's 1 for 2 in passing for about 55 yards and 1 touchdown. Not a bad outing for the first quarter.
He's got the numbers going with him. One receiver goes to the high side. That's number 81. That's Landon Aller. One to the near side is number 10. That's Steve Baham. Number 41, the big fullback, Lamonte, headed up, and he's going to ramble it all the way up to about the 36-yard line. So Billy Lamonte, 5'11", 210-pound junior, carries it out on a big gainer of about 23, 24 yards.
Well, there's another gun in the arsenal there. Everybody looks at Brister. And a pretty good run right there. Broke a few tackles. Brings the ball up to 37-yard line.
So Independence, after recovering the fumble, are on the move. Ball resting at about the 37-yard line, 36-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go with 9 minutes left to go in the first half. McGowan puts the man in motion to Brister. Brister met in the backfield and stopped there by number 82, Big Jim Meade.
If Jim Meade wouldn't have got Darren Brister there, Brister would have had about a 15, 20 yard, well, been 15 or 20 yards before anybody would have got close.
I'm amazed with the speed that Jim Meade is getting into that backfield.
Yeah, Jim Meade is 6'2", 190-pound senior, and he had a good year last year. We certainly saw that.
3-year starter for the Green Wave, a 3-year starter. Here we go, folks, from the 36, 37-yard line. Receiver to the high side, one to the near side. Backs in the split in the backfield. Darren Brister at the tailback. McGowan fakes it to Brister. 3-step drop with a little pressure. Looking to set the screen up to the near side, and it goes in and out of the hands of Brandon Carter. So they were looking to set the screen up to the near side, Crawfish.
They certainly were, and just kind of a bobble by Brandon Carter. Would have got a little bit yardage, not enough for the first down. You know, I was talking to Coach Jeff Lyons earlier this year, and I said, Coach, he said, you did pretty good on inheriting some some real key offensive players. He said, I was talking about the backs and the wide receivers, and he said, really, we're better improved on the line, and certainly showing that tonight.
Receiver to the high side, one to the near side, backs in the eye. Brister at the tailback. Two-step drop on the draw to Brister. Brister looking for some running room. Breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles. Going to wind his way down, pick up the first down yardage, and that's what a Darren Brister does for your football team.
Certainly did, and that's what we saw him do last year. He just does such a good job of making people miss him. He has a couple little juke moves, a little spin moves, and he's just so hard to tackle. And he's so quick. And Ponchatoula had him wrapped up about a 4 or 5 yard gain. He turns it in a 15-yard game, enough for a first down, 1st and 10 at the Ponchatoula 47-yard line.
So the scorings come from big play opportunities by both of these teams. Independence crosses over into Ponchatoula territory with about 8 minutes to go in the first half. McGowan, the senior quarterback. He's got Brister. He slides him to a halfback position. On the quick out to Brister, hitting the hole very quickly and rapidly just pushes ahead for about 7 yards. And that young man hit the hole just as quick as anybody can.
Yeah, Juan Sanders made a good block on Jim E. I think they're putting Brister up there to where they don't have to fiddle with it in the backfield. Just let him hit the hole quick. Don't give time for Jim Mees to recuperate or recover from his block.
And Ponchatoula getting away from the platooning a little bit tonight. Charlie Landry checking in to the contest at a linebacker. As you know, he played quite a bit of linebacker last year. Brister at the tailback, McGowan at the quarterback to Brister. On the left side, looking for some running room, breaking tackles and going to pick up another 7 or 8 yards. So on this series right here in particular, Crawfish, it is the Darren Brister show.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive offensive drive for the Independence Tigers.
That line is blocking in there. You know, Mr. Brister gets the carries, but these guys have to get the blocks to open the holes, and that's what the Independence Tigers are doing right now. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball resting on about the 31-yard line with 6:53 left to go in the first half. And this has been a quick first half. 2 receivers, 1 down low, 1 up high, backs in the eye. Brister at the tailback. Quarterback sneak by McGowan. He's going to push it ahead to about the 35-yard line. So looking for a quick hole to open up there, Crawford.
Yeah, and McGowan's 6'4". He just needs to lean over, and he gets 2 yards. Good block in there. Coach Baggs is trying to keep Ponchatoula's defense a little off their game, trying to challenge them, trying to shake things up, just to try to keep a little bit confused.
And Independence calls a timeout. Parents who want tender, loving care for their children in a daycare center that is located in a safe and healthful environment should talk with Marcia Mandela of TLC Daycare on Villarola Lane in Independence. TLC is a state licensed Class A and has a staff of professionals trained by the state and CPR certified. Marcia and Tommy have an outdoor play yard available, but TLC children activities are certainly not limited to playing. Instead, activities prepare children for school. Also, Marie Rogers and Kathy Benji now have TLC students in dance lessons every week. Call 878-9376 to check with Marcia about openings for your children. Also, tonight's contest being brought to you by Ragusa Building Supply Company, located at Highway 51 in Independence at 404 West Railroad Avenue. Ragusa Building Supplies has every possible thing you can need to build, remodel, or renovate your home. Ragusa carries lumber of all types, building materials, as well as hardware items and supplies for all types of plumbing and electrical work. That's Ragusa's True Value Hardware. Call them today at 878-6254. Hi-ho number 3 bringing you tonight's contest. Hey, all you have to say is hi-ho, and the barbecue is the best.
I love hi-ho. I got people I work with in New Orleans. When I come in, they say, is hi-ho open in the morning? You can pick me up some for lunch. Not open at that time of
morning. Number 3. Independence moves on the line. We'll get a flag as Brister tears up the middle, but it's all for naught. It will come back. And then Tommy Martin signaling a fumble. And it looks like Walter Kitchen may have fallen on the football. There's a flag on the play, back on the offense.
And it looks like it's backfield in motion. It looks like Ponchatoula's going to get a break here. Sure is. Big break for the Ponchatoula Green Wave. Same thing that happened on the opposite end of the field. So we're almost seeing mirror image of both teams here.
Charlie Landry misses the pitch out. Ponchatoula recovers deep in territory. Also, Darren Brister fumbles the football. Ponchatoula recovers at their 15-yard line, headed back. We're tied 6-6 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the first half.
Brister's mad. Yeah, we're going to see some more of him.
He doesn't usually cough up the football. Here we go. First down, 10 yards to go for the Green Wave. They're operating from their own 15-yard line. Martinez Lewis to Charlie Landry. Charlie Landry for the first down. So Charlie Landry met out there by number 40, Chris Garofola. And Chris Garofola in on a lot of tackles tonight.
Making some good tackles, too. Good form tackles.
Just like Jim Meade is on Darren Brister, Chris Garofola is on Charlie Landry.
Yeah, but Coach Baggs doesn't want Garofola making all the tackles because he's a defensive back.
That's right.
You know, where does Coach Baggs get all these people? I mean, he's got Tofield, who runs for 3,000 yards. He's got Joe Harris, runs for 3,000 yards. Now he gets Darren Brister. Every 3 years he comes up with a new great back.
Landry once again off tackle. He's met there by a host of the Tigers. He's going to be drugged down after about a yard or yard and a half gain. So that's going to bring up second down. Ball on the 30-yard line.
Number 40, and number 88, that brings up the second down.
So second down, folks.
A long 7 yards for the first down.
You know, Coach Baggs wants to get the ball back with 5 minutes left. Defense really needs to tighten up here for Independence. Second down, about 8 yards from the 30-yard line.
On the wing-back counter to Walter Kitchen. Walter Kitchen met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a big loss. So big number 76 for the Tigers. That's Antonio Donahue. And Donahue just stops him for a big loss, and that's going to put Ponchatoula in a passing situation.
Well, Walter Kitchen getting up in there with those big guys. He's only 140 pounds, and he comes on that little counter. He needs to go down because they standing him up pretty good. Somebody's going to come in there and pop him and knock that ball loose.
Third down, 7 yards to go. One receiver to the near side. That's Kevin Brown. He's covered out there by number 8, Denair Nichols. Martinez Lewis looks over the defense. On the counter once again and dropped for a big loss is Walter Kitchen by number 90, Phillip Jones. So this and number 40, Chris Garofola.
That was Chris Garofola on a. That's what Baggs wants. He wants him to tackle him in the backfield, not on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
So that Independence defense tightens up. Back deep to receive the punt will be number 24, Darren Brister. In to do the punting is Alan Strohmeyer. And Alan Strohmeyer, as you know, had his first attempt blocked. He'll hit the ball at about the 13-yard line. Brister waiting for it on his own 40. Independence with everybody else up on the line. They're going after it once again, Crawfish.
They certainly are, and it's a good place to go after it, too. Strohmeyer's going to be tackled about 3 yards. He should have just picked the ball up and thrown it out the back of the end zone instead of giving him the ball at the 2-yard line. Throw it out the back of the end zone, give up 2 points, and don't give Independence the ball at the 2-yard line. Ball snapped a little low, went right between Strohmeyer's hands. I think he might have took his eye off of it because they had everybody in the world coming at him.
You know, in talking with Jeff Lyons and both Coach Baglio, they'll tell you, you can't make mistakes in this type of game. That's 2 special team mistakes by the Green Wave, both of them on the punting situation. So that gives Independence first down, goal to go at the 5-yard line.
Oh, and I was just about to say right before the snap, I said, I know Strohmeyer's remembering what happened last time he punted, and he doesn't want to make the same mistake. I just hate to see what he's going to do next time.
5-yard line for the Tigers of Independence. McGowan, he leads them up to the line. He's got Garofola and Brister in the backfield, one receiver to the near side. Garofola, nope, and the referee stopped the play.
Ponchatoula called timeout right before the ball was snapped. Got just a little under 3 minutes left, and Independence has the ball on a 2-yard line.
Tonight's contest being brought to you by Representative Dennis Hebert. He's running for re-election in District 73. Representative Dennis Hebert, a representative for the people.
First and goal for the Tigers to play with him. We'd like to invite everybody to come out tomorrow.
Well, Crawfish, big break for the Green Wave. I mean, for the Tigers.
Yeah, it certainly is. To get the ball, like I said, Coach Baggs wanted to get the ball back one more time before the end of the first half, and he's certainly getting a pretty good opportunity here. He thought he was going to get the ball around midfield, and now he's getting it 4 plays from the 5.
4 plays from the 5-yard line. That's Darren Brister territory right there.
It certainly is.
Gene Smith, Juan Saunders, also Kerry Watkins, and James Williams on the offensive line, along with Jarrett Ricks for the Tigers of Independence tonight. Number 85, Brandon Carter, in at the tight end to the high side. Receiver to the low side is Steve Bayham. First down, goal to go from the 5. McGowan under center to Brister on the counter play. He's going to be caught in the backfield, breaks the tackle, heads for the corner, and gone. And he was hit in the backfield by Strohmeyer, broke the tackle. That's what Darren Brister does for you.
Yeah, and Hunter Joyner was there too, and they did a good job of getting penetration. They were 4 or 5 yards in the Independence backfield. Brister bounced off of him. He's so hard to catch around the waist, and he just bounced off, strolled on into the end zone, one play, 6 seconds. Ponchatoula's going to get a chance to get the ball back.
We got 2:52 left to go in the first half. Ron Gotro along with Crawfish, David Cottrell. We're high atop Tiger Stadium in Independence, Louisiana for this, I guess, what's becoming a little bit of a rivalry here in Tangipahoa Parish.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Independence is going to go for 2. Who did the ball go to? Darren Brister right up the middle. Taking a little bit of the wind out of the Ponchatoula sails right now.
Right here before the half with 2:52 left. Tonight's contest also being brought to you by W.E. Blackwell. He's a candidate for state representative in District 73. That's W.E. Blackwell, a man who can and will make a difference. So vote number 80 on your ballot, W.E. Blackwell, for state representative in District 73. Turnovers and mistakes cost Ponchatoula.
Well, that's what cost Independence last year in this game. Darren Brister made the big fumble around the 40-yard line, just trying to push it a little more, try to get a first down with less than a minute in the game. I think it came down to where it was a 4th down play to Charlie Landry for about a 60, 65-yard touchdown pass from Martinez Lewis to win the game, one of the more exciting games that we've seen. And this one's certainly shaping up to be the same thing.
The Independence Tigers on top by a score of 14-6. Back deep to receive the kick is going to be number 4, Ramon Richardson, and number 10, that's Walter Kenshin. In to do the kicking is number 90, Philip Jones. He's waiting for the referee to signal. Referee's got his count. He's got what he wants, and he turns him loose. Ball running Richardson back toward the end zone, and it'll bounce into the end zone for the touchback. So
Independence offside.
Independence offside, so that'll back him up a little bit. Ramon Richardson wisely letting that football go into the end zone.
Yeah, he certainly did. Good line drive kick. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to return that one. But going to back it up, they're going to have to, Independence is going to wind up having a kick from the 35-yard line, which is going to, and it gives Ramon Richardson another look at the kicker, so he might get back a little bit further.
You know, Crawfish, take away the mistakes that both of these teams have made. These teams have been well coached into this contest.
Oh, they certainly have, and both teams. I mean, you have Jeff Lyons and you have Coach Charlie Baglio, but it's the assistant coaches that get the kids ready every week. You know, and they just as much a part of this as anything.
So that'll back them up to the 35, where Phillips will try it again. Ramon Richardson and Walter Kitchen remain the deep men for the Green Wave of Ponchatoula. We've got 2:52 left to go here in the first half. Independence on top by a score of 14-6. Phillips gets the signal once again. A nice high kick coming down toward Richardson at about the 25. He takes it on a run and fumbles the football, and I think he got back on it at about the 35. So on the fumble, he picks up 10.
Yeah, he got kind of fooled there on that kick because it wasn't a line drive like last time. And he tried to catch it on a run, similar like what Tyrone Hughes tried to do last week. And He didn't want to let it bounce in front of him because you don't know which way it's going to bounce, so he took the best shot he could, and it went right between his arms.
And that is a live football, so you do want to cover it at least. Ball resting on the 35, 36-yard line. Ponchatoula takes it over with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Lewis, one receiver to the near side. That's Buster Waddell. To Landry. Landry looking for some running room, dragging a player with him for an extra 3. So Chris Garafola on Charlie Landry, but Charlie Landry still managing to pick up about 7 or 8 yards.
You know, Garafola's in just about every tackle there. The program shows he's 5'11", 210 pounds. He certainly doesn't look that big, but boy, he can hit out there. He's pretty quick. He's all over the field.
On the offensive line for the Green Wave, Brian Larison at one of the tackles. And I'll get you some more numbers as soon as I can see him. Number 50 at the center. I believe that's going to be Buddy Goins. Back to the action with 2nd down, 1 to go. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Martinez Lewis to Landry. Landry up the middle for the 1st down. So Landry, behind the good blocking of that offensive line, picks up the 1st down. Also on the offensive line, number 51, Brian Landry. And number 87, I think that's Artie Thompson, number 87. If it's not, I apologize. Also, Herman Newell on the offensive line tonight for the Green Waves. 53, got him. And number 76 is Robert Graves. Walter Kinchin along with Ramon Richardson at the wingbacks. Receivers high and low for the Wave. Kinchin in motion. On the counter to Ramon Richardson. And Ramon Richardson pulls ahead for about 7 yards. Stopped there on the play by number 80 for Independence. That's going to be Quentin Weatherford. So Quentin Weatherford. Ponchatoula going with the no huddle with 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go in the first half. They send Kevin Brown to the near side. Buster Waddell to the high side. Landry in tight like he's going to block for Martinez Lewis. Lewis on the rollout. Looking for Kevin Brown. Being pressured and dropped there on a big defensive play by Mike Governale. And he'll be dropped right at about the line of scrimmage, and Coach Jeff Lyons, with under a minute to play, is calling for a timeout. Woo.
Well, that's the play I was talking about earlier. Charlie Landry was actually open about 15 yards down the field, but a little bit too much pressure for Martinez Lewis to get a chance to spot him. They had a few people around, but he pretty much open on that play. But a good push by the Independence line, and going to bring up a 3rd down, 8 yards, about 47 seconds left. 47 seconds left. You know, Independence ranked about number 10 in their classification in the state. Ponchatoula this year moving up to 5A for the first time. So both of these teams going through a little bit of a transition this year. Jeff Lyons taking over as head coach at Ponchatoula, his first year there. Of course, he was on the staff of Scott Martin, but that move to 5A Crawfish puts him in a pretty tough district. Yeah, it certainly does. They're up there with the big boys now, and you know, they're borderline coming into 5A, but they're still playing against in the same classification as the Arretts, who have 4,000 and 5,000 students, and West Jeffs and Shaws and things like that.
The Green Wave with 3rd down. Let's call it, about 7 yards to go. Ball resting just inside Independence territory on the 49-yard line. Ponchatoula needing to get something going here before the half. They're down by a score of 14-6. More defensive backs in the backfield for Independence at this time. Martinez behind some good blocking, looking to hit. He hits Buster Waddell out for about a 5-yard pickup. Good defense on the play by LeBrandon Tofield. So Tofield had Buster Waddell pretty much covered, Crawfish. Wasn't going to give him the deep, but would give him the underneath.
That's going to bring up a 4th down. Ponchatoula called the timeout here. They had a chance to call it with about 40 seconds, and they just let the clock run. It's 28 seconds left. And they've got 4 yards to go for a 1st down and 45 yards to go for a touchdown.
So Ponchatoula looking to make something happen here, trailing in this contest by a score of 14-6. All of it coming on turnovers and big plays. You know, in this part of the country, when you think of barbecue, you automatically think of Hi-Ho Barbecue. That's the great Hi-Ho Barbecue in Ponchatoula. Hi-Ho number 3. Just come on to West Pine Street in Ponchatoula and satisfy that craving with a Hi-Ho number 3 delicious, juicy barbecue. Stop by and see them today on Pine Street in Ponchatoula. Also, tonight's contest brought to you by Ragusa's Building Supply, located here in Independence. They have all your remodeling, construction, hardware, plumbing, everything you need. Ragusa's True Value Hardware, kind enough to sponsor tonight's contest on television for you. Also, tonight's contest brought to you by TLC Daycare Center. 4th down, Crawfish. If they're going to do it, they've got to at least get the first with 28 seconds left. They have time for a couple of plays.
Yeah, and they've got a good kicker in Helmsley, so if they get it down there, I don't think they have any more timeouts, so they get it down there, they're going to have to get something where it's going to be out of bounds. Flea flicker.
There it is to Ramon Richardson, but the referee's going to blow him down right there on the 42-yard line. So the flea flicker to Ramon Richardson, the hook and trailer, and Buster Waddell took a knee, and it's down right there.
They might have had enough for the first down. They might have to measure this. That was a heck of a play.
It's all going to depend on the spot here, Crawfish. I can't tell from our angle. This could be close. I think it's going to be a couple of inches short.
It certainly looks the way.
22 seconds left to go in the first half. Ponchatoula tries the old hook and lateral.
The old flea flicker.
Old flea flicker.
and it worked.
I tell you what, if Buster Waddell's knee don't touch the ground, Ramon Richardson's down in the end zone celebrating.
He had one person to beat down there.
First down for the Tigers. They hold. So Independence comes up big right here before the half with 22 seconds left. And like you said, that's got to take the team down a little bit. But then again, this Ponchatoula staff will get them up at halftime.
Well, they certainly will. And, of course, Baglio's got to be happy going in with an 8-point lead because he dodged a couple bullets himself.
Yes, they did. Both of the teams turning the ball over here. Referee stopped the clock. We're clicking down from 16. Independence looks like they won't try for another play in the first half here. Baglio's holding them back, and he's going to let the clock run out. So, folks, we got a shootout in Independence at Tiger Stadium. The score, Independence 14, Ponchatoula 6. We'll be back with the halftime show in just a moment.
vehicle. So prepare yourselves, Independence fans, for the high-stepping antics of the PHS Green Wave Wavette Dash Team.
And here we go with the second half. Jason Angeletti in to do the kicking for the Green Wave. Independence back deep to receive will be number 20. I believe that's Donnie Williams. He's looking for some running room to the outside. Picks up a block and is met there by number 44 for the Green Wave. That's going to be Bordelon. So Bordelon stops Donnie Williams on about the, well, let's see, 25-yard line. Crawfish score 14-6. Ponchatoula needs to step up right now with some defense.
They really do, because Independence has the ball right now. If they drive down and get any kind of score on this, that means Ponchatoula's going to have to come back and score 3 times. Touchdown, extra point, plus either a field goal or another touchdown.
Here we go. The ball on the 27-yard line. with 11 minutes, 39 seconds. We're just starting the second half. McGowan under center, puts it back in motion. He fakes to Brister, drops back. He's got a receiver wide open down the sideline. Walter Kinchin steps in, cannot make the play, but the ball is bobbled by number 5, Robinson. Joining us in the booth, Superintendent Virgil Allen. And look, guy, I see you got a tiger tail hanging out here, but I don't see any green on.
Well, I'm on the wrong side to have green on.
Mr. Superintendent, how are you enjoying this so far, the job?
The job is fine. It's always good when you're helping young people.
You know, our school systems here, you did a lot for Ponchatoula High School. You made Ponchatoula High School the flagship of high schools in Tangipahoa Parish. Is that your goal for Tangipahoa Parish schools as a whole now?
Well, we've been proud of all of our high schools in Tangipahoa Parish, not just Ponchatoula. We do a good job in Tangipahoa Parish with our schools, and we're going to continue to work hard at it.
You know, you've got a school board now that looks like you seem to be working with you pretty good.
Yes, they're not always agree on every issue, but they think through the issues and they make decisions, and of course I have to follow those decisions.
You know, coming up at the end of the month, there's going to be a governor's forum here on the campus of Southeastern, and this whole topic is going to be education. Do you feel education's been a little shortchanged in the state?
Well, coming back from the new superintendent's orientation in Baton Rouge on Tuesday, we were informed that we used to be 48th in teacher salaries, and now we've slipped below Mississippi and Arkansas, and now we're dead last, number 50. So I do think that the legislature is going to have to take a stand. I mean, we're not even close. We're dead last in this country.
You know, Superintendent Allen, that's something not to be proud of. I mean, we have to do something to keep our good teachers in our state.
Well, I agree with you 100%.
Well, Virgil, I'll tell you what, everybody's happy you got the job. I know I'm happy you got it, and we know what to expect from you, only the best.
Well, thank you very much for asking me to be on your show.
All right, that's Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Virgil Allen. He joined us in the press box. We have an injury on the field, Crawfish.
And it looks like Independence got a double shot of bad luck there, not only on the missed touchdown catch, but it looks like they're calling in the medics to come look at Terrence McGowan. He must have got hit right when he released the ball, because he's down, he's face down, and he's not moving. He's moving his legs a little bit, but they're calling the, looks like
Dr. Anzalone going out to attend to him at this time. We hope and we pray the young man is okay. He's down on the field being attended to by the trainers, by Dr. Anzalone, and also some paramedics coming in. So, Crawfish, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. We'll get back to the action as soon as it starts up. Well, folks, something you never want to see in any type of a contest. Terrence McGowan brought off on a stretcher. We don't have a real indication of what's wrong with him. They were talking about some type of neck injury, but Crawfish, we did notice he was moving his legs. Dan Burnett steps in. He is, let's see, Brister looking for some running room. He gets some, and he's going to rake out there for first down yardage. Dan Burnett, 5'8", 155-pound junior, coming into the contest for Independence at the quarterback spot. Crawfish, late in the game, you still got Darren Brister, but you look for that leadership of a Terrence McGowan.
Yeah, and that takes all the fun out of coming to these ball games to see a kid like that have to be hauled off on a board. But hopefully he's going to be okay, and we're all wishing the best for him.
We got first down, 10 yards to go, 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Ponchatoula trailing in this contest by a score of 14-6. Burnett on the rollout to Brister. Brister looking for some running room, met there by Jim Meads, and more of the Ponchatoula Green Wave defense. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. So going to Brister, going to the top gun, now that you've got your backup quarterback in, you can look for him to depend more and more on the offense of Darren Brister.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get close to his 200 yards, because that's what they're going to do right now. They're going to start running Brister.
All right, it's ball resting on the 43-yard line. 10 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Ron Gotro along with David Cottrell, Speck McClendon on the camera. Two receivers to the near side. They're split. Burnett at the quarterback spot to Brister. Brister breaking through the line, looking for some running room, turns it to the outside, gets by Kevin Brown, and being knocked down by Walter Kinchin, but a big gain for the Tigers, brings it down to the 25-yard line. Independence threatening once again on the feet of Darren Brister. Joining us in the booth, Ken Benitez. Mr. Benitez must be happy Independence has a lead here.
Well, I don't want to irritate any of our advertisers in Ponchatoula, but it is true that my son Steve is the mascot for the team, and also Kenny, who's a freshman, is playing on the team, so I'm a little biased.
Just a little bit.
But they really look good tonight, and the running game is working just perfectly for them. And Ponchatoula is a much bigger team, but they're running the ball really well in spite of that.
Darren Brister with the Brister determination. He's going to move it down to about the 12-yard line.
You know, Ron, last week Independence defeated a 5A school, Central, for the first time in the school's history. And if tonight they are destined to, for the second time in their history, beat a 5A team, this will just be you won't be able to contain Independence.
It should affect them in the rankings. Independence coming into this contest ranked number 10. We got one receiver going to the high side. That's Aller. One to the low side, number 10. That's Bayham. Burnett under center. Calls for the football. Looking for Brister. Brister met at the line by Jim Meads and finished off by Charlie Landry after a pickup of about 1 yard. Crawfish. They're going Brister left, Brister right now. They want to put the ball in Brister's hands, especially when you're in this type of field situation.
Yeah, but this is a dangerous field position for both teams tonight. Both times they got down around the 10-yard lines, both of them fumbled. So you're looking at a fired-up Independent squad here, especially Darren Brister, because he's getting second, third, and fourth efforts out there.
Dan Burnett steps in for the injured Terrence McGowan. The ball resting on the 12-yard line. Second down. 9 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Brister once again looking for running room and drugged down there by Herman Newell, I believe it is, number 56. For the Green Wave, excuse me, that's number 66. Check that. That's Hunter Joyner dragging down Brister after a pickup about 1. Third down situation once again for the Independence Tigers.
Third down and 5. Ball's going to be around the 9-yard line. We got 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in this third quarter. Yeah, you're looking at fired up Brister.
We had about a 20-minute delay on the injury of Terrence McGowan. Independence comes out under the backup quarterback Burnett and march the ball down the field on the feet of Brister. Burnett on the keeper, up the middle, and he's going to get into the end zone. So the backup quarterback on the quarterback sneak, right behind the big guard for Independence, puts it into the end zone.
Well, everybody was keying on Darren Brister right there. You talk about a happy Dan Burnett. Yeah, he's ecstatic. Come in, take over this squad, come down here and put the ball club up 2 touchdowns.
So the score 20-6, waiting for the point after attempt. Into attempt is Weatherford for the Tigers. In to do the holding will be number 22. That's going to be Singleton. Singleton waiting for the snap. A little bit of a low snap. He gets it up. He bobbles it. Being chased in the backfield by Jim Meads and Otis Chester, looking to get into the end zone and will not make it. Met out there by number 4, Ramon Richardson. So the point after attempt, no good for Independence. They'll hold on to a 20-6 lead.
Well, you know, Ron, earlier Independence made a 2-point conversion, and that could be critical in this game because I don't think there's any chance Independence will blow out the Green Wave. I mean, they're definitely coming back, or at least I would think so. So the score now at 20-6, though, Coach Baggs ought to feel pretty good about his ball club at this point.
He's going to have to rely on a backup quarterback tonight, but Mr. Burnett has proven himself so far in their first possession. Parents who want tender loving care for their children in a daycare center that is located in a safe and healthy environment should talk with Marsha Mandela of TLC Daycare on Villarado Lane in Independence. Call them today at 878-9376. Back deep to receive will be Ramon Richardson and Walter Kinchin for the Green Wave. In to do the kicking will be number 90. That's Philip Jones for the Independence Tigers. Ponchatoula got to get back into this contest. Need to do something with this possession, Crawford.
Well, you know, Ken was saying Coach Baggs ought to be happy. I don't think he's real happy only being 2 touchdowns up because last year, with a minute left, he was a touchdown up and wound up losing the game. So he wants to get a little more on the board.
Walter Kinchin fields the ball at about the 9, headed straight up the middle, and a good tackle put on Kinchin at about the 26-yard line by number 6 for the Independence Tigers. That's Jermaine Brown. So Ponchatoula takes it over. First down, 10 yards to go from about the 27-yard line. And, folks, important drive.
I tell you what, Ron, it's been almost an hour since Ponchatoula's had the ball last.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably cold. Independence had a long drive right there, plus the timeout for the penalty. So they really need to get something rolling right now.
Buster Waddell to the low side, being covered by Donnie Williams out there. Martinez Lewis at the quarterback. Up the middle of Charlie Landry. Charlie Landry changing hands and just pulling his way ahead for 9. So Charlie Landry getting the gut yards for Ponchatoula up the middle tonight.
Certainly is. That was nothing fancy. Right up the middle with Charlie Landry. He hits people and he just starts turning, and it makes him hard to tackle. And he got just about enough for the first down. They're going to give him the first down there.
Governale on the stop for the Tigers. First down, 10 yards to go for the Green Wave, who've been able to move the ball consistently. Just the turnovers hurting them tonight, Crawfish. First down, 10 yards to go, ball on the 38-yard line. We've got 7:39 left to go in the third quarter. Lewis. Two-step drop. Looking for Kevin Brown. He's covered out there by Donnie Williams. Kevin Brown makes a move on Williams, tries to get open, but can't quite get to the football. So Donnie Williams running step for step with Kevin Brown. Martinez Lewis cranking off a pretty good pass. Martinez does have a good arm.
Certainly does. He throws a good ball to catch. He just threw that ball up high. He knew Donnie Williams coming in at 5'10", and Kevin Brown at 6'2". He was going to get a little height advantage there. Kevin Brown actually had Donnie Williams turned around there. The ball was thrown just a little bit short, and going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. Kevin Brown comes to the near side. Buster Waddell goes to the high side. Backs in the wing with Charlie Landry at the fullback. Lewis to Landry. Flag on the play. The ball is loose and covered there by Ponchatoula, I believe. Yeah, Green Wave on top of the football, but a flag on the play. Number 88 on the play for Independence, Mike Governale. Looks like he had his knee up under him. He gets up a little hobbled, but staying in the contest. Procedure call against Ponchatoula, something they don't need being down by 2 scores here.
And Buddy Goins, I tell you what, that ball was sitting on the ground with 3 or 4 Independence people around it, and he did a good job of getting in there and snatching that ball back, because that would have been devastating to give Independence the ball on the 35-yard line.
Third down, 7 yards to go for the first. Important drive for the Green Wave of Ponchatoula. Checking into the game will be Walter Kinchin. Checking out will be Ramon Richardson. 7:07 left to go in the third quarter. Ponchatoula trails in this contest by a score of 20-6. Waddell, the lone receiver, he's to the bottom of your screen. Lewis. Looks like a blitz coming for Independence, and it is. Lewis under some pressure trying to set up the screen to Walter Kinchin, and read beautifully by number 22. That's going to be Singleton. So Singleton in the backfield, just really broke up. Okay, we have a flag on the play, but I think that was number 2, wasn't it? Or was it Toefield? Yeah. Read the screen beautifully.
Oh yeah, they must have the headphones on, because they must have heard that call being play being called there. They had that thing read perfect, especially with the blitz. Something you want to do, you get a blitz situation with a screen pass and get all your linebackers coming in, but somebody was right on Richardson.
Strohmeyer tried to kick for the 3rd time, has been unsuccessful in getting a punt off here in this ball game. Independence looks like they're going to go for a little bit of a return here on defense. They don't have everyone up on the line, but they've been putting some real serious pressure. Of course, one was a bad snap, one was a block punt. Strohmeyer waiting for the ball at about the 17-yard line. Good, clean snap. He gets the punt off. It's an end-over-end punt hitting at about the 44-yard line, 45-yard line. Darren Brister will watch it roll dead at about the 26. So Independence takes it over. First down, 10 yards to go. The Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency in Ponchatoula is just a phone call away, 24 hours a day. Jerry Morgan Insurance can help you have that peace of mind that comes from knowing you're covered with insurance from a strong, reliable company. Call the Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency at 386-8533. Also, tonight's contest brought to you by Ragusa Brothers Building Supply, located at Highway 51 in Independence. Has all your building supplies you could possibly need to build, remodel, or renovate. Ragusa carries lumber and all types of building material, as well as hardware items and supplies for plumbing. That's Ragusa's at 878-6254. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball resting on the 28-yard line. Darren Brister at the tailback. And at the fullback is Billy Lamonte. 2 receivers to the near side. Burnett to Brister. Brister looking for some room. Makes a move to the outside. Got some open field in front of him and drugged down from behind by number 48, Greeley. So Greeley chases down Mr. Brister, but not until Brister goes for about 7 or 8 yards.
Oh, give credit to the offensive line for Independence. They had a hole you could have drove a truck through, and Brister pinches down like he's going to run up the middle, and then he bounces to the outside and gets everybody jammed up. And that's the same thing he did there. He has some good blocking on the outside, picks up 8 yards, going to bring up a 2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line.
Receivers high and low, backs in the eye. Burnett under center to Brister, once again trying it up the middle. And I tell you, Darren Brister, you notice right when he was tackled, he dove out for that extra yard. He's giving you that effort on every play, Crawfish.
Yeah, and it looks like he's working toward his 200-yard game.
So Ponchatoula's defense trying to figure out how to put the brakes on Darren Brister. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball on about the 43-yard line. Ponchatoula trails in this contest by a score of 20-6. I'm Ron Gotro along with the Crawfish and Speck McClendon high atop Tiger Stadium in Independence. First and 10. To Brister, way off tackle where there's some running room, and finally having to be stopped by Kevin Brown after about a 13-yard pickup. So Darren Brister getting the job done. Dan Burnett in at quarterback for the injured Terrence McGowan. And when you're ripping off 11 and 12 yards of carry, you stay with what brung you. You dance with the one that brung you.
Yeah, and Kevin Brown made a good tackle right there to keep Brister from going 50 yards there. That was a good open field tackle because he was flat going. I'd hate to be the quarterback on his team trying to get the ball to Brister. He hits the hole so quick, the quarterback's almost running after him just to hand off to him.
One receiver to the low side, backs in the eye. Garofolo at the fullback. It goes to Brister up the middle once again, pushing ahead in traffic for about 5 or 6, tackled by all of the Ponchatoula Green Waves. So you're getting that offensive line surge right now from Independence. And we have an injury on the play. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with you in just a moment. That was Chris Galifo injured on the contest. This young man's having him a whale of a ball game. He'll be back in this contest, you can bet. Here we go. Second down. 4 yards to go for the Tigers. Ball on the 37-yard line. Burnett up the middle to Lamonte. Lamonte drugged down by Otis Chester, but not before he picks up the first down.
I tell you what, Independence is clicking. They're clicking right now. They can't do anything wrong. And you still have to key on Darren Brister, and they have other guns in their arsenal there. First and 10.
Yep. Ball resting on the 26-yard line. Independence threatening once again here with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Burnett to Brister. Brister drugged down there by number 23, Charlie Landry. So Charlie Landry steps up to stop Brister, but Brister still gets that 1 or 2 yards.
Charlie Landry's like Galifo. He doesn't want to come out the game. He's in on all the different teams. Just two good competitors there. Chris Galifo is going to be back in here, I guarantee you.
Ball resting on the 25, so a pickup of 1 yard for Darren Brister. We got two receivers. No, one receiver coming to the near side, one to the high side. Burnett under center.
Quarterback.
To Brister. Brister with room. Bye-bye, Mr. Brister. He's in the end zone. Hit the hole as quick as a young man can hit it and takes it into the end zone untouched. That shows you something about your offensive line when your running back's not touched.
Well, Ron, no offense, but I think you could have run through that hole.
It'd have been a test.
It certainly would have. I tell you what, this team is really rallying around Dan Brunet. He's doing an excellent job coming off the bench for an injured Terrence McGowan. And this team's doing everything that he's asking them to do.
That'll put Mr. Brister over 200 yards for sure for the night with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
It's tough for the Ponchatoula team to come over here. They've only had a handful of offensive plays in this whole second half.
In for 2 points. Brister stopped short by Charlie Landry. So with 2:57 left to go in the third quarter, the score, Independence 26, Ponchatoula 6. Portions of tonight's contest brought to you by W.E. Blackwell. He's a candidate for state representative in District 63. That's W.E. Blackwell, a man who can and will make a difference. So vote for number 80 on your ballot, W.E. Blackwell for state representative. And hey, we just got visited by hi-ho number 1 here, Billy. Billy Zarda came up, but sponsoring tonight's game, hi-ho number 3. That's right. In this part of the country, when you think of a barbecue, where do you go, Crawfish?
I go to the hi-ho.
That's the only place to go to Hi-Ho Mouth-Watering Barbecues. They're located on Pine Street in Ponchatoula. They're world famous. That's all you can say about them right there. Hi-Ho Barbecue.
And Billy, sponsor us next week.
Yeah, we'll get Billy to come up with some of that change next week. Tonight's contest also being brought to you by Representative Dennis Abair, representative for the people from District 73. That's Dennis Abair for representative. 26-6 with 3 minutes left to go and the third quarter. Phillip Jones in the kickoff. Back deep is Kinchin and Richardson for the Green Wave.
Ponchatoula's got to do something here. It's almost getting out of hand for him.
Coming down to Ramon Richardson. He fields it at about the 16-yard line. Looking for the wedge up the middle. Gets it, picks up a block. Works his way to the outside to about the 37-yard line. So Ponchatoula not starting in bad field position the last 2 times.
Yeah, but the last 2 times they just couldn't do anything with the ball when they were there. Had a long pass down here to Kevin Brown where he almost caught it. That, I think if Ponchatoula could have gone in and scored right there or kept the ball down that end of the field, I believe it would have been a different ball game. But 26-6, Ponchatoula's got to do something now.
Waddell goes to the high side. Lewis looks him over. Fakes the counter to Ramon Richardson. Back to throw. Looking for a receiver. Can't find one. Finally, he hits the big tight end, number 87. I think that's Artie Thompson, but I believe he was across the line of scrimmage.
Either that or illegal receiver downfield. He looked like Charlie Landry was going out, and he got tangled up and couldn't get in the open. Martinez Lewis rolled out, and I think he had a legal receiver downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield is the call. And, you know, Crawfish, even though Ponchatoula's in a bad situation right now, trailing by 20 points, you do have the arm of Martinez Lewis, and he has shown that he can get receivers open.
Well, they have some mismatches with Kevin Brown in there being 6'2", and he's a pretty good leaper. He could just start stepping back, throwing the ball up, and just letting Kevin Brown try to jump over some of the defensive backs for Independence.
What do you think it's going to be like in Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge tomorrow night?
Bah, 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 bah.
And they call it a spillover crowd.
It's good. The feeling's back there. You know, it's good to see people come back to the football team.
1st and 15 for the Green Wave. On the fake to Charlie Landry on the option of Ramon Richards. He got some running room to the outside. He's going to go back to the line of scrimmage and pick up 4. So the option to the wingback works well for Ponchatoula. They start to eat up some yards, but Crawfish with 2 minutes left, they got to be thinking end zone.
Well, they've got, yes, 2 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah.
We still have another quarter here. And it's just imperative that they score here because they're going to have to score more than 26 points to win this ball game. They're going to have to hold Independence to what they have now. And that's going to be tough to do because Independence is on a roll. So they're going to have to score 3 more times and hold Independence to nothing.
2nd down, ball on the 41-yard line. Lewis puts a man in motion. 4-step drop, wide open out here is number 21, but Martinez Lewis being pressured by that big Independence line. And I'll tell you what, number 21 for Ponchatoula on that play, Donnell Rogers, was really out there. He was so lonely, he could have got lost.
He was covered on the play by Coach Joe Levine, because Joe Levine was running down there pointing at all of his players. There was absolutely nobody took the man in motion.
We've got 3rd down, folks. 4 yards to go for the first. Ponchatoula needs at least a 1st down with 1:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They send Kevin Brown to the near side. Lewis looking to pick up the 1st down yardage. The go-to man, Charlie Landry, he'll get you the 1st down, plus 5 more. So Charlie Landry bulls ahead for the 1st down for the Green Wave. And Charlie Landry, just a workhorse up the middle tonight. I know that Darren Brister has over 200, but I guarantee you Charlie Landry has over 100.
Well, one thing I like about watching Ponchatoula play, especially when Charlie Landry runs, all of the linemen are downfield. Larison was down 5, 6, 7 yards ahead, because you never know when he's on Darren Brister. So if you're a lineman, you have to be in shape because you have to stay 1 step ahead of him.
Martinez Lewis on the option to the near side. Looks for a hole, cuts it up inside, and it's going to pick up about 3 yards. Chased down there by Chris Gallifo of Independence. So he's back in the game in his old style.
Yeah, he's tough. You know who he reminds me of? Scrap on the kid that we saw at North Shore.
Geffen, Van Geffen.
Van Geffen.
Second down. We got about 8 to go for the first down. Ponchatoula putting together some offense with about 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. So they'll have to push it to get this play off in the third quarter. You're watching Tangipahoa Television's broadcast of local high school football, brought to you by the generosity of sponsors here locally. Kevin Brown to the high side. Martinez Lewis looks over the defense. And too much time is taken, and that's going to back them up, and that's mistakes you cannot make.
No, you certainly can't. And that's one thing that's hurting Ponchatoula tonight. The 2 punts, the fumbles, the second, instead of 2nd and 8, now you have 2nd and 13. So you just can't have mistakes like that. This will probably be the last play of the third quarter.
Second down and 14 to go for the Green Wave. Martinez Lewis looks over the defensive backs to see where they're situated. Rogers in motion to the near side. Fakes it to Landry, being pressured back there by number 22. Martinez looking to set up the screen to big Jim Meads, and Jim Meads put on a big lick by Jermaine Brown. Stops Jim Mead in his tracks. Ponchatoula loses 2 on the play. Independence here tonight to put the hat on Ponchatoula and have done a good job so far.
That was a heck of a hit. But Martinez Lewis had a lot of pressure on him, and by him rolling out that much, with that much pressure on him, gave the defensive backs and linebackers an opportunity to read the play. They came up, made the play right at the line of scrimmage, and that was a heck of a hit.
Portions of tonight's contest brought to you by the Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency of Ponchatoula. They're just a phone call away 24 hours a day. Jerry Morgan Insurance can help you have that peace of mind that comes from knowing that you're covered with insurance from a strong, reliable company when you need it. Whether it's automobile, homeowners, mobile home, life, accident, health, or Medicare supplements, you can get them at Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency, 386-8533. Ponchatoula, third down. 13 or 4, no, about 20 to go. Martinez Lewis says he's got it at the line of scrimmage. He calls the audible. 2-step drop, looking down the center of the field for number 3, Kevin Brown. And Kevin Brown, with a big catch, brings it into Independence territory. So Kevin Brown on the down and in. Martinez Lewis hits him with a perfect strike. Brown gets up a little bit limp.
That was a heck of a pass there. That was right on the nickel. And close enough. Let's see, it's going to bring up 4th down in about 2 yards. 2 yards, the ball's going to
Charlie Landry handoff.
Yeah, that's Charlie. You want to put some money on that one?
4th down, folks. 4 yards to go. 2 yards to go for the first down. Independence has got a 4-man line down, 2 linebackers. To Charlie Landry to the outside. He gets the first down and more. Breaking tackle, still on his feet. He's going to rumble down to about the 29-yard line. So Charlie Landry picks up the big first down. Tackle there by number 6 on the play, Brown. First down, Green Wave looking to get on the board for the first time since the first quarter of this contest.
You got to go with Charlie Landry. He's 2 yards, easy, piece of meat.
Here we go. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball resting on the 29-yard line. Buster Waddell to the near side. I think that's Artie Thompson on number 87 to the high side. If it's not, and I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. Martinez for Buster Waddell. Overthrows Buster. Buster just on a quick hitch pattern to the inside. And he was open momentarily, but Martinez kind of pulled the trigger on it a little bit quick.
Yeah, it looked like the same play. They went to Kevin Brown on the opposite side, basically the same route. And look at man Brent Grigas running out there getting the ball boy tonight. Coach Grigas' son.
Second down, folks. 10 yards to go on the incomplete pass by Martinez Lewis. Kevin Brown checks back into the game. Donnell Rogers along with Ramon Richardson and Charlie Landry in the backfield with Martinez Lewis. On the wing back counter to Ramon Richardson, looking for some running room, going to pick up about 5. Stop on a play by number 78 for Independence. That's Brandon Dufresne, the nose guard. So Brandon Dufresne on the stop for the Independence Tigers. They lead in this contest by a score of 26-6.
Yeah, 10.5 minutes left. I don't think we're going to see Ponchatoula punting tonight. Yeah, in 4-down territory. It's almost 4-down territory every time they get the ball.
Here's 3rd down you're looking at, 3rd and 6. Kevin Brown covered by Jaron Brister on the high side. Buster Waddell on the low side. On the option, Martinez Lewis being chased, trying to get the ball to Landry. He'll take it himself, and he will be dragged down after about a 3-yard gain. So, but good block out there by Garlifoyle and Charlie Landry. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Green Wave. Once again,
you don't want to get Charlie Landry mad.
So 4th down and 4 yards to go. Once again, Ponchatoula in 4-down territory, trailing by 20 points. They've got to have the 1st down, Crawfish. There's no turning back here.
Yeah, and Kevin Brown and Jim Meads are coming in right now. Or not Meads,
I believe that's Artie Thompson.
Artie Thompson. They've got their hands receivers in.
Here we go, folks. 4th down, 4 yards to go for the Green Wave. Martinez Lewis to Landry. Landry will be denied the 1st down. So Landry met at the line of scrimmage by number 90, Phillip Jones, and he stopped, and they will turn the ball over on downs to Independence, Crawfish. And I tell you what, that just about seals the fate of this Ponchatoula team.
Well, Charlie Landry had to get to the 20-yard line. He got pretty darn close, and then he met a wall. And then Gallifor was in there. He had a whole mess of people in there. So it was a good defensive stance for the Independence Tigers. Independence can't do anything wrong right now.
We'll be naming the offensive and defensive player from each team coming up in about 3 or 4 minutes. Brunette steps in at the quarterback for the injured Terrence McGowan. To Brister. Brister up the middle, met head on there by number 30 for the Green Wave. That's DJ Treadwell. And I tell you what, that was one of the nicer collisions of the night also.
I think he kind of shocked Brister there. He kind of stood up and stepped back and said, whoa, I'm not supposed to be hit like this.
Mr. Treadwell steps in and puts the hat on Darren Brister. Ponchatoula wanting to get their licks in this contest. That'll bring up 2nd down. We'll call it 7 yards to go. We're into the 4th quarter, Crawfish. Ponchatoula trails this one by 20 to Independence, 26-6.
Ponchatoula's got to hope for a turnover.
Burnett to Brister on a little delay out of the backfield with some great blocking out in front of him. He gets the corner turn, being chased by DJ Treadwell. Finally pushed out of bounds, but not until he picks up his regular 8 or 9 yards.
He's good at doing that. I like to see who's looking at him right now, because I know there's some major colleges that have to be looking at Darren.
The speed is there, we know that. The size is a little bit small, but what this young man has is eyes. He can see the play.
He certainly can, and he's hard to tackle. He's got good speed. He's 180 pounds. I'm sure if he goes to college, they're going to beef him up a little bit.
We've got 1st down, 10 yards to go. Independence eating up the ground and the clock. To the big fullback, Lamonte. He's met there by DJ Treadwell after about a gain of 1.
Hey, Ron, didn't college beef us up some?
Yeah, put a little bit around the middle there. I tell you what, I lost most of it tonight in this heat because it is sweltering.
Yeah, it is pretty muggy out here, and we up here with the bugs up in by the lights. They think
eating 2 or 3 of them.
They think my head is one of those lights up there, and they keep buzzing around.
Ball resting on the 39. Well, let's call it the 40-yard line. The nose is on the 40. Independence has it 2nd down, 8 to go. The ball on the ground in the backfield. Ponchatoula on top of it at the 35-yard line. So Ponchatoula gets a break with 7 minutes left. Crawfish, I don't know if it's enough time.
They got to strike quick. They really have to strike quick right now. Being down by 20 points, that's 3 touchdowns in 7 minutes.
Martinez Lewis needs to put the ball in the end zone right now. So Darren Brister coughs it up. A little bit of a exchange problem between the quarterback and the running back, but you got to remember, this young man, Burnett, stepping in for the injured Terrence McGowan, has played a great football game.
Oh, he certainly has. He's you know, McGowan's a leader, and Burnett came in here, and he showed that he's a leader also, and he took this squad. Let's see, he's a 10th grader, so look like some good things to come.
Timeout call by the Tigers. We're going to... Okay. Parents who want tender, loving care for their children in a daycare center that is located in a safe and healthful environment should talk with Marcia Mandela of TLC Daycare on Villardo Lane in Independence. TLC is state licensed as Class A and has a staff of professionals trained by the state and CPR certified. Marcia and Tommy have an outdoor play yard available, but at TLC, activities are certainly not limited to playing. Instead, activities prepare children for school. Call them today at 878-9376. Tonight's contest also being brought to you by Representative Dennis Hebert, representative for the people in District 73. He's running for re-election and would appreciate your vote. That's Representative Dennis Hebert. So you reckon we'll get Billy off of some change next week?
Oh, we better. We ought to get some off of him tonight.
Some off of him tonight. Martinez, two-step drop. Looking for Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown up over the back of Donnie Williams, and he'll get it in at about the 5-yard line, or bring it down to about the 2. A flag on the play. They might be a little offensive pass interference. We don't know.
Well, it looks like it's defensive pass interference because Kevin Brown, well, they're saying it was offensive. It looked like Kevin Brown was going for the ball. And it looks like Donnie Williams wasn't even turned around yet. Yeah, it is against. That was a good call.
Okay, check that. My mistake. That'll bring, and like I said, they got to strike quick.
Yeah, they certainly do.
You'll find no quit in this Ponchatoula team. I can tell you that right now.
No, you saw him popping out there.
We're balls resting on, call it the 4-yard line. First down, goal to go. Charlie Landry territory. Lewis. Another flag on the play.
Looks like, I don't know what they're going to call. I didn't see anything. Ponchatoula's going to be backed up, and they can't make that many mistakes down in this part of the field.
Ponchatoula lined up offside, so shoots himself once again in the foot. That's going to back him up to about the, let's call it the 11-yard line. Excuse me. Yeah, about the 14-yard line. Ponchatoula has a first down, goal to go from the 14. Landry in the backfield with Ramon Richardson. Martinez Lewis looking into the end zone for Buster Waddell. He's got Waddell in the corner, and nice defensive play by number 2, Tofield. Gets his hand in at the last minute to slap the ball away.
Yeah, Waddell had it in his hand there. A good defensive play right there in the corner of the end zone. Charlie Landry was open for a second, but Gallifore was on him right there at the end.
So that'll bring up second down, goal to go for the Green Wave. Kevin Brown comes in with the offensive play from head coach Jeff Lyons. Ball resting on the 14. Ponchatoula needing to score right here, Crawfish. You've got Kevin Brown stretched out to the near side, the bottom of your screen. Martinez Lewis rolls to the high side behind some good blocking, looking into the end zone, and strikes in there to number 4, Ramon Richardson. So Ramon Richardson on the delayed drag across the middle. Martinez Lewis is patient, finds him open.
Yeah, he stayed with him. He waited and waited and waited until he got open in the end zone. No use throwing it at the 5-yard line. Wait till he gets in the end zone. And he was wide open back there. And I imagine they're going to have a 2-point conversion here.
The Green Wave will go for 2 with 6:19 left to go in this contest. They bring it a little closer by a score of 26-12. Now, the turnovers that cost them points really start to play into this contest.
Yeah, and then you look at the turnover that Independence had right here to give them a score. Really put it out. They had it out of wide open. Oh!
Wide open and overthrown is Artie Thompson, so that's going to leave it at 26-12. Folks, tonight's contest also being brought to you by Mr. W.E. Blackwell. He's a candidate for state representative in District 73. That's W.E. Blackwell, a man who can and will make a difference. So vote for number 80 on your ballot, W.E. Blackwell for state representative in District 73.
You know, Ron, when you play a game like this, when things go wrong, they really go wrong, and that's what happened with Ponchatoula. It started off with the punts, a couple fumbles, missed extra point, things like that, and then missed two-point conversion where they could have been in this ball game, and they just given high-powered Independence offense too many chances, and they're not taking enough of their own.
And you know, they were successful in the first half in containing Darren Brister, but like we said, Crawfish, one of the best running backs in the state, you're not going to contain him all night.
And he's going to break one, so you can't keep it close because you know he's going to eventually break one. He's going to be good for a long run at least once during the game.
Helsley in to do the kicking. Darren Brister back deep to receive along with Donnie Williams and also Singleton. And it's going to be the onside attempt going to the near side. Helsley kicks it over and looking for 10 yards. Hadn't got the 10 yards, Crawfish.
It didn't, and somebody from Ponchatoula wisely, the ball was bouncing back to their side of the field. They wisely hit it and knocked it forward because live ball, Independence can pick it up and run it in. They had 4 or 5 guys right there by the ball.
And you know, with the clock being a factor right now, Green Waves cannot even allow Independence a first down if they want to get back in this contest.
No, they got to snuff them right here.
So, the onside kick attempt by Ponchatoula fails, and Independence will have it at their own, at Ponchatoula's 49-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go, 6:19 left to go in this contest, and Independence leads it by a score of 26-12. Darren Brister along with Lamonte in the backfield. At quarterback for the injured McGowan is Burnett. Burnett to Brister. Brister up the middle, breaking away to the outside. First down, still on his feet, being drugged down finally from behind by number 54, Ray Perrin. So Mr. Ray Perrin saves a touchdown by staying in pursuit of Darren Brister.
That's the best way to tackle Darren Brister's from behind. You're not going.
The only angle you're going to get.
That's the only one you're going to get. Plus, he can't see you coming.
He can't see you coming. That's right. Darren Brister with the big gainer, folks, picks up the first down. The clock ticking away on Ponchatoula in this contest. 27-yard line. Burnett looking over the Ponchatoula defense. On the quarterback keeper up the middle, he's not going anywhere. That play scored, they scored a touchdown on that play earlier. But in to stop him on the play, big number 66 for the Green Wave, that's Hunter Joyner.
You know, Ron, I don't know how Brister feels the next day, but he gets hit pretty good, and he runs 200-300 yards. He's got to be wore out. You know, last year when they played Ponchatoula, he had over 200 yards, and he had a couple of 60-yard runs called back.
Receivers high and low for the Tigers of Independence. Brister at the tailback. On the delay to Brister, met in the backfield by big Jim Meads, and he reaches down and helps Mr. Brister up just to say hello, I'm still here.
Yeah, at least he didn't have to run far to catch him this time.
Right. Big Jim Meads gets through and meets Mr. Brister in the backfield. That's one of the first times tonight that has happened. The ball resting on about the 30-yard line, third down. We're going to call it 13 to go for the first. Burnett yet to attempt a pass for the Tigers, but when you got your ground game clicking like this, you don't really need to pass that much.
No, you can key on Darren Brister right now.
Brister the lone setback. Lamonte shifts over to a slot to the high side for Mr. Brister up the middle, and Brister wiggling his way down, looking for some running room. He's going to break it down to about the 9-yard line, finally drugged down by Ramon Richardson. And excuse me, folks, but this young man is putting on a show tonight.
Yeah, he was also tackled by Steve Bayham, getting down there trying to make a block. You don't know which way to go. When he's coming behind you and you're downfield to make a block, you don't know which way to go because you don't know which way he's going.
One thing Ponchatoula has to look forward to is they will not face a better running back this year.
No, I don't believe it.
First down, goal to go for the Independence Tigers with 4 minutes left to go in this contest. Burnett. Up the middle on the quarterback sneak. He's going to pick up about 2. And he's going to be brought down by DJ Treadwell, along with, I believe, number 31 on the play for Ponchatoula. That's Darren Miller. Second down for the Tigers. Eating up the clock and eating up terra firma as they bring it toward the end zone with 3:22 left to go in this contest. I tell you what, yeah, Speck McClendon just leaned over and whispered in my ear, just imagine what the A-Meet Independence game is going to be like this year.
Oh, Lord, that'd be a good one.
Burnett to Brister. Brister got a big hole, makes a move, and walks it into the end zone. So that ices the cake for the Independence Tigers tonight. You know, they came back last year. They got beat on about the last play of the game by Ponchatoula, and you know that left a bad taste in their mouth.
It certainly did. I think they had a whole year to think about it, and they came out here ready. You know, I think the injury to Terrence McGowan, this has been a whole different ball club since that injury. You know, it took a lot out of them to see one of their own troops being hauled off, and they really rallied around Brunet, and what they've scored 3 touchdowns since then.
With 3 minutes left, the Tigers going for 2. Brunet attempts a pass into the end zone and underthrown a little bit. So Crawfish, well, you know, Ponchatoula, like we said, one of the advantages, they don't have to face a better running back this year. But let's give credit where credit's due. The offensive line of the Independence Tigers has got the job done tonight.
Well, they certainly have. And, you know, even with 3 minutes left in the game, Ponchatoula really never got into a groove. Some bad field position put them behind to where they had to start throwing the ball more than they wanted to. They like to be able to stay ahead and hit Charlie Landry up the middle for 20, 25 times and just wear the other team out. With a ground control offense like that, you can't do it when you're behind.
Well, the mistakes they made put them in a hole so rapidly that they had to go away from the, and like Jeff Lyons says, he had to go from plan A to plan B, and plan B is throw the football, because Charlie Landry has been getting the yardage. He's been getting good offensive line blocking from that offensive line. The turnovers probably the key to this contest.
And they're just not clicking. They just, you know, they've had some good plays, some wide open people, some good runs, but they're just not doing things consistently.
I tell you what, this is going to be one of these rivalries where wherever you play it at home, that's who win, I believe.
Yeah, it's looking like it, and it's developed into a real good parish rivalry.
Short kickoff coming down, hitting about the 30-yard line, picked up there by Walter Kinchin. He's looking for some running room, looking for some blocking, tries to wiggle his way up the middle, still on his feet, looking for the end zone line, the out-of-bounds line, and still on his feet, wiggles his way up to about the 40-yard line. So Walter Kinchin, after coming back from being injured last year, putting on a show for us. Remember, he was the one that got hurt in the game against Hammond at Strawberry Stadium last year, missed the entire season.
He sure was, and that was a 75-yard punt kickoff return right there. And he got it back to the 40.
So Walter Kinchin eating up a lot of lateral real estate, as you call it, with 2:49 left to go in the contest. You can look for Martinez Lewis to turn loose of the football downfield.
Yeah, you're gonna see some throwing now. It's there's no hiding it. There's no play action. You're just gonna have to start throwing it.
Well, folks, I'm going to tell you, you know, these contests couldn't be brought to you on local television without sponsors. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank the sponsors for tonight's contest: Ragusa Brothers Building Supply, State Representative Dennis Hebert, TLC Daycare, Hi-Ho Barbecue No. 3 in Ponchatoula, Jerry Morgan Insurance Agency in Ponchatoula, and Mr. W.E. Blackwell. He's a candidate for representative in District 63. Whenever you stop into these folks' business, thank them for bringing you high school football on television. Ron Gotro, along with David the Crawfish Cottrell, glad to have you back, because I tell you, I did these first 2 games by myself, and about this time in the game, I was plumb winded.
Yeah, I heard that. you felt like Darren. I tell you what, I'd like to be in Darren Brister's shoes just for a couple of those long runs. You know, the ones that you don't get hit? Because to see that hole open up, you almost feel like you're running it by yourself.
Martinez Lewis back to pass, looking downfield, sets up the screen to Charlie Landry. He tries to evade one tackler and can't get it done. Number 22, Jermaine Singleton, hangs on to Charlie and drags him down after about a 1-yard gain. So let's call it a 3-yard gain. So on the screen, 3 yards for the Green Wave. Buster Waddell to the near side, Kevin Brown to the high side. Walter Kinson along with Ramon Richardson in the backfield. Martinez rolling out to the high side, looking out there for Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown gets a hand on it, but can't pull it in. So that'll stop the clock with 2:08 left to go in this contest, but Crawfish will also bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, it certainly will. And Independence is up by 20 points. They're going to be just airing it out every time.
Martinez Lewis trying to put some points on the board for this Ponchatoula team. He's got 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Ball resting on about the 42-yard line. He changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Straight drop, rolls out to the high side, looking for somebody, and nailed in the backfield by Phillip Jones. And knocked down is Martinez Lewis with a vicious hit from Phillip Jones. Martinez a little slow in getting up, and Phillip Jones had a good, clean shot on Martinez.
Well, really, nobody was supposed to block on that. That's on the backside. He didn't even see him coming around. It's one of those lookout blocks where you just turn around and you say, Martinez, look out, because he got waylaid.
Folks, once again, the folks bringing you tonight's contest, Ragusa Brothers Building Supply, State Representative Dennis Hebert, TLC Daycare in Independence, Hi-Ho No. 3 Barbecue at Ponchatoula, Jerry Morgan Insurance in Ponchatoula, and Mr. W.E. Blackwell, a candidate for representative in District 73. So Martinez shakes it off, and I'm pretty sure he's going to hear some bells for a while.
Yeah. We're looking on the schedules here. It looks like next week Hammond's going to be at, Mandeville's going to be at Hammond. Ponchatoula is going to be
at Sam Houston in Lake Charles.
And St. Paul's is over here to take on the Independence Tigers.
So we got a good weekend of football coming up for you next weekend. Of course, the Saints against Atlanta Sunday morning in the Dome, and LSU against Auburn Saturday night. Lewis, 2-step drop, being pressured a little bit. Breaks free, looking downfield for Waddell. He gets him, and Waddell can't quite drag it in. So, folks, that's going to turn it over with a 1:41 left to go in the contest. And this one, you can just about say, is over.
Yeah, turn out the lights. The fat lady's singing. That's Coach Charlie Baglio has got to be happy. He really had his squad prepared. They came out here. They did what they had to do. 32-12, a minute 41 left in the ball game. And, you know, you're looking at the schedule. They've got, next week they've got St. Paul's, which should be a probably pretty good game. Another home game against Kentwood, another home game against Live Oak. Then they go to Franklinton, Bishop Sullivan, Albany, and Amy. So you look on here, they've got with the squad that they have, coming in here 3-0, they've got a good, they're on to another real pretty decent year.
You'll be also seeing Independence against Kentwood and Amy on Tangipahoa television. Next week it's Hammond versus Mandeville. Burnett kneels down and is going to let the clock run. So Charlie Baglio says his team has enough with 32-12, and he's going to down the football. Crawfish, offensive, defensive player for both teams.
I would think for the defensive player for Independence, number 40, Chris Galafora. The offensive player, Darren Brister.
I'm going to give it to two of them, Burnett and Darren Brister, because the young man stepped up in a big contest and filled the shoes of McGowan Abermilley.
Yeah, he certainly did. For Ponchatoula, Charlie Landry, and on defense, Jim Meads.
Jim Meads. And I tell you, got to give Martinez Lewis credit too. He's the field leader out there. Well, folks, they're just going to down it out with 55 seconds, under a minute to go in this contest. It looks like Independence will take the trophy this year. Ponchatoula won it last year in the last minute, but Independence comes up this year with some good offensive line blocking and Darren Brister.
Yeah, and Brister had, if he didn't have over 200 yards, he had close to 200 yards.
Sure he did. Charlie Landry well over 100 yards also on the evening.
Charlie Landry's good for 120 yards a game. Plus, you know, we didn't see Charlie Landry catch that many passes on it in the game this year.
So, folks, we're counting down with 20 seconds left. Burnett will down it once again for the Tigers, and that'll be the last play of the contest. Well, there it is, folks. The Independence Tigers step up strong. Oh, we've got a flag on the play. And we can't end on a penalty. So we'll see what the call is. I think somebody might have jumped a little early. They're talking to Independence, so it's probably against Ponchatoula. So that'll give them the opportunity to take one more snap.
Come on, ref, let it go.
So one more snap for the Independence Tigers. There it is. They're going to run it down. 3, 2, 1. Independence wins this one by a score of 32-12. We'll be back with the coaches in just a moment. Well, joining me now, head coach Jeff Lyons. And coach, one good thing coming out of your loss tonight is you won't face a better running back than Darren Brister this year.
No, I mean, if that was the whole key to the game. I'd be probably 250 or 300 yards tonight. You know, that's been his thing all year. I mean, every game has been like that. Last year was like that. Even though we played us last year, you know, this year he looked like he'd picked it up a little bit better than last year running the football.
You've made a few mistakes in your first 2 games, but some real mental breakdown tonight, especially in your special teams.
Yeah, we used something that's been usually solid for us. We had a bad punt snap and a punt block. We had a fumble down here. It took us out of the, you know, momentum-wise, it was 6-6. We'd held them on a big goal line, then had a 99-yard drive. You know, and then we get the ball back and drive it down on inside the 10, and we fumble. I mean, hey, at that point, it would have been 12-6 at the worst, or 14-6 or 13-6, you know. And hey, we just never come back after that.
Your first year as head coach, tonight the team is going to be looking to you. They're going to see how you're going to react to this.
No, it's not. It ain't a panic mode at all. I mean, hey, you played a good football team. And, you know, Independence always has a good football team. Coach Baggs and his staff always do it real good. And year in and year out, they have a great program. And, hey, it's a learning experience for our kids. Nobody, you know, in the year undefeated.
You know, Charlie Landry tonight gave you that consistent yardage up the middle. You had to be proud of the work of your offensive line there.
Yeah, our offensive line did open some good holes.
Charlie's over 100, too. I don't know where he's at, but I know he's over 100.
You know, and we threw the ball, you know, at well. But, I mean, hey, like I said, defensively, we didn't play very well.
In the first half, Jim Meads looked like he had the number of Darren Brister. But, you know, with a running back like that, you can contain him. He's going to get his yards up.
Yeah, but after a while, you ain't going to get there all the time.
That's right.
You know, I mean, it was just a matter of time. You know, he was going to get his. And, you know, hey, it was just, he broke a few, and you know, the big momentum, like I said, down there was we had a chance to go up, and we didn't.
Well, Coach, good luck to you. You go to Sam Houston next week.
So I said, we're a long ways away, and I told the kids that means a long ways. We're going to Lake Charles next week.
And this one doesn't mean anything in your district, so.
Well, no, long ways to go.
Thank you, Coach.
See you later.
All right, Coach Jeff Lyons. We'll be back with Coach Baggs in just a moment. Joining us now, the head coach of the Independence Tigers, Charlie Baglio. And, Coach, what are you feeding this offensive line? It's got to be raw meat and gunpowder, man, because they were opening some holes.
Well, I think the word is attitude. I think that they realize they have a great back behind them, and they know that they're fortunate that they don't have to sustain blocks as long as maybe some other teams do. He'll, you know, do more in his part of it. And their attitude is just, you know, we got to go out and do it. I mean, they know. Before the game, we told them that they were the biggest part of this game in order for us to win, because we felt we had to keep Ponchatoula's offense off the field. And we told our punter at the end of the game, we told him he had a nice job. He did a nice job of punting because he didn't punt. But anyway, that was the key to the game.
Looking at Darren Brister, Crawfish and I were talking about this a while ago, Coach. He's not the biggest back, he's not the fastest back, but this kid has eyes and can see a hole like no other running back I've seen in a long time.
Well, he's a great back, just what you said. He knows where to go and what cuts to make. And the big thing about him, he's so strong. You know, he gets stronger in the fourth quarter as the game gets on, and that's where he punishes the defensive people getting tired, and he's not getting tired. He's a phenomenal player, and I'm just glad he's on my team.
On defense, Chris Gallipo. I mean, excellent football game from this young man.
If one person was fired up to play this game, it was him. He felt like Landry scored over him last year, which wasn't the case. Really, it was a defensive back.
He took it on his shoulder.
Right, he took it on his shoulder, and he was fired up to play this game. And
you know,
but they all played good.
Darren went well over 200, I would say. Charlie Landry went over 100. He did a good little job for Ponchatoula up the middle.
Well, they keep you so spread out because they got Martinez Lewis that's going to run on the outside, and plus them other backs that can run outside, and you got to respect that. So, biggest thing we did tonight was we did not give them a long one. And that was the key. The only long one we gave them was a pass play. We didn't give them a long run. So.
Beating two 5A teams back-to-back's got to make you feel good and your staff.
Yeah, I tell you what, speaking of the staff, you know, you got to give them the credit for this one. Sammy Messina on the defensive side, and Joe Levine on the defensive side, and Mike Young, and then Keith Corona calling the plays, and Ron Jenko, and Greg Williams, and Johnny Boy Santangelo. Those guys are the ones that deserve this win.
They make you look good, don't
they?
Yeah, they do. Coach Baggs, look, good luck to you next week. Great effort tonight. Good coaching job.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. Coach Charlie Baggs and Crawfish. Well, here Crawfish, Ponchatoula goes home after losing this one 32-12 to a real strong Independence team. Hadn't got to see Independence that much this year. I saw them in the Jamboree over in Laranja, but I was very impressed with their offensive line, very impressed with the defensive play, especially the run of Darren Bristol.
Yeah, certainly, and they didn't beat a slouch either, because Ponchatoula is a good ball club. They had a good season last year. They had a lot of returning veterans, and they'll rebound from this. Coach Jeff Lyons will get these guys up. They play in Lake Charles next week against Sam Houston. I think they're going to remember this game. Coach Baggs comes back home, plays against St. Paul's.
The team that Ponchatoula beat last week. So I tell you what, Independence, looking at their schedule right now, positioning themselves very well for this run.
Yeah, they've got a couple of good ball clubs that they have left to play this year. Kentwood, the A-Meet game at the end of the year is certainly going to be, I bet you we at that one.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be at that one.
And you're looking at some, you know, they're on their way. They're on their way again.
Well, and Ponchatoula goes to Sam Houston next week in Lake Charles, Louisiana. We'll be back on local television next week bringing you another football game. But remember this, if it wouldn't be for the sponsors, we couldn't bring you football on local television. So next time you stop in one of their places of business or see them on the street, tell them thank you. I'm Ron Gotro along with David Cottrell, the Crawfish, Speck McClendon on the camera. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next weekend on local football.
That's right.